friends, welcome back to my channel. Life is Tiff Knows It. Tiff here bringing you another WIP and chat. WIP, if you are new to the concept, stands for work in progress. Chat is just me chatting. Hope you are doing well today. I am doing pretty well. I am tired tonight as I'm filming this. And of course, it's like cueing the yawning for me. I shouldn't have mentioned to myself I was tired. I'm not that tired. It is a Monday night, so I am behind on my filming. We'll see if I get this up on time. It's doubtful to me, but you never know. It could be a Halloween miracle. Yeah, I'm working on my Drills and Chills kit. Totally not even close to getting done, but I'm okay with it. Romy Lerda is the artist of this art, and it is released from the company Dreamer Designs. The name of it is Playing with Fire. And this is the part of the kit where you can totally see why it's named Playing with Fire. So I sure hope you're doing well. As we enter into like November and holiday season time, it seems that I'm seeing Christmas stuff earlier and earlier. Like it's almost the norm to be hearing about holiday stuff. The last like 2 weeks I've heard about it, and it's like, wow, like let's slow down. Let's get through Halloween first, and then let's think about holidays. I don't know. I guess there's two camps of people. I've become much more tolerant of holiday stuff as I've gotten older, and I am looking forward to just more time off of work, to be honest. So I currently am fighting, I hope it's not strep throat. I'm starting to get a sore throat. My daughter has been sick for the last 3 days, and yeah, it's never fun to navigate sickness when you are trying to take care of a small child, and it's like just inevitably recognizing that the chances of being ill in the near future are very high. I'm going to adjust this a little bit here so it's not crooked. I just come to terms with it. I'm getting more wax in my pen. Really like this purple wax that came with this kit. It's very cool. And I do think it's higher quality wax for sure. It's kind of like wax you get at Diamond Art Club kits. It has lasts quite a while. Yeah. So I'm a little bit in a fog. My throat hurts. But there's been some really good things that have happened this week. So I'll recap you, and then I do want to also, maybe I'll talk about the sad things first. I mean, it's sad it's not news to anyone. Well, it depends on what you follow, but I am so sad by Matthew Perry's death. My mom was the one that told me, she had Facebook messaged me. It was just really shocking to me. I'm such a Friends fan. I haven't watched Friends for a while, but as you might know, if you followed my channel for a while, I've done like a Friends diamond painting. I've done 2 Friends diamond paintings, actually. I'm looking at one right now that says You're My Lobster, and then I have a Central Perk one. I've visited the Warner Brothers lot in California, and was very excited to be on the set of Friends. I remember I was pregnant at the time, and the reason I was in California, I was there for a conference, but it was just so fun because on the Warner Brothers lot, they had a bunch of sets that they use for different things, but it was the stage. I went on kind of like, they had like a model house pretty much I'm so sorry. I don't know why I just can't stop yawning once I start thinking about it. They had model house of my favorite episode, which is the prom, the one with the prom, with Ross and Rachel and Phoebe saying, "You're my lobster," which I told this story before, but I don't know. It's just like, I have always had like a really intense response to celebrities dying. When I was 13, John Ritter died. And I kid you not, like, it was traumatizing for me because I was a huge fan of Three's Company. And I feel that, like, the fact that, like, of course, I don't know Matthew Perry. I actually just bought his audiobook. I think it's called Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. It feels like I know him. It feels like I'm going to be, like, I don't know. It's like an old friend died, you know? Literally. So, yeah. I'll be curious to hear more about, like, the cause of death, because I just am so hoping that it wasn't due to, like, an overdose. And there definitely is a lot of debate that I've seen online about, like, it's none of anyone's business to know how he died. And that's very valid and true. I think it's just from curiosity standpoint. I think it was just so ironic too that his last, like, social media post was him sitting in that jacuzzi, and then he died in there. And it's so hard. I don't know. So I thought it's kind of cheesy, but in honor of the other being, I have some quotes from his character on Friends that I wrote down. My favorite ones. So one is, I'm not great at advice, but can I interest you in a sarcastic comment? Another one is, I'm full, yet I know if I stop eating this, I will regret it. I relate to that all the time. All the time. I'm glad we're having rehearsal dinner. I rarely practice my meals before I eat. Such a smart ass. I love it. Someone on the subway licked my neck. My neck. Seriously, good luck marrying me. Hi, I'm Chandler. I make jokes when I'm uncomfortable. And I love this scene where Chandler and Monica start dating, and they're in the bathtub taking a bath together, and they don't want Joey or anyone to know yet. And so Monica goes underwater, which creates all these bubbles, and Joey thinks that Chandler's farting, and Chandler says, I've had a very long, hard day. I just love it. So anyway, I know I'm not the only one. Maybe you're tired of hearing about Matthew Perry's death, or, there's a variance in people liking Friends, but it definitely, like, it makes me sad. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. And yeah, I'll be very curious to read his book. I think it will be really a, interesting book to read. Maybe not the easiest or not read, but listen to, just because it's like, it's hard to hear all the details of addiction, and it's not glamorous, but I think that's the message he wanted heard. And I don't know, I feel like listening to his book and hearing his story is very healing for me. And it's, he wrote that book because he wanted people to read it. So yes, that's my sad thing. That it's not my sad thing, but it's something that's making me sad. Let's see, what else is happening for me. Halloween is tomorrow. Like I mentioned, my daughter's sick, so I don't know. There's just been a lot of, like, as a parent, you're supposed to be super responsible and do what's best for your kids. And I don't want Denise to miss Halloween, So I think we're going to bundle her up and just go on a quick, short trick-or-treat trip. I'm hoping she'll feel better by then. She stayed home from preschool today, and yeah, it's a bummer. And it's so random. Her school's doing a pajama day tomorrow. How strange is that for Halloween? Like, I understand, like, schools are in a hard spot because there's so much need to have, like, safety protocols. And Halloween kind of takes away a lot of the control that a school can have to monitor like safety stuff. Like, a person could be wearing a mask that doesn't even go to the school, those types of things, or wear face paint to kind of conceal their identity. And then there's just kids who just don't wear appropriate things, or scary, or all kinds of reasons. But I'm bummed that Denise won't be having like a little Halloween party in her class. I remember I have fond memories of having a Halloween party in my elementary classrooms, but she'll make memories in other ways. We miss the trunk or treat. That seems to be the new thing for kids, is a trunk or treat. And yeah, I was actually at a play that night, and I'll have to tell you more about this play. In fact, I'll just tell you about it right now. So my coworker and I decided to go, and my friend, I should say, she's more than just a coworker, but we went to this really, really cool play called Murder for Two. And Murder for Two, I didn't realize sometimes, like, local plays, they're written locally. This one I don't believe is, so you can definitely Google it if you want to find out more. It was one of the best plays I've ever been to. I really enjoyed it. So the whole premise of it was, it's like a murder mystery, and there's 13 characters played by 2 people. And the detective is played by, he just plays himself. He interacts with a person that is invisible. Like, you think it's like his, I thought maybe it was his, imaginary friend, because he's literally imaginary. And then the other actor played 12 different roles, or I guess it'd be 12 different roles in this play. And it was just like so entertaining and like impressive that this actor could play so many different parts in such an amazing way. Like, he had props for a lot of the characters. Like, one of them wore these glasses, and they take off the glasses, and one had a cigar that he was smoking. Another one, he played kids. He played all of these people with different like body movements and tones of voice and cadence of voice. Like, it was amazing. It was kind of like watching somebody who had DID, like dissociative identity disorder. And I'm sure like that play probably took so long to rehearse, because it's just 2 people doing a 90-minute play, and they were amazing at playing piano. So they were they were playing piano for each other during the scenes. It really was phenomenal. And so we went on Friday night, and that, unfortunately, we missed the trunk or treat. But I think Denise was starting to get sick that night, so it probably wouldn't have been great. It was really cold that night. It's been actually, today in Colorado was so cold. Like, the first really cold day, I guess this weekend it snowed a ton. It snowed almost a foot of snow. It always happens around Halloween. Like, I just wish that Mother Nature could wait until Halloween is over and then have a big snowstorm. Like, definitely on a weekday, so there's a snow day. Like, come on. Like, it's been doing this for years and years and years. You'd think that that Colorado would finally get it right, but alas. But anyway, it was very cold today, and I think it was not as cold on Friday, but it was very cold. It's been a very unusual year. weather-wise. It's been oddly warm for some days in October. Like having it be 80 degrees in October in Colorado is pretty rare. And we had multiple days where it was 80 degrees. So I personally am welcoming the cold, even though I say that, I don't know, it's complex. Snow, and I know I've talked a lot about snow in my previous WIP and chats, is very triggering for me because of the amount of maintenance it takes to keep our front yard compliant for our HOA with snow. And so we live kind of on an incline, which having an inclined driveway that's pretty, I wouldn't say it's super steep, but it's a little steep. It makes it very hard to shovel snow safely, especially for someone clumsy like me. That's really what it is the clumsiness. But the snow also, it melts on the incline of our yard and then goes into the street. And my husband has a theory, and I sadly think that he's right, that it melts into the street and it can't get down the gutter because last year we did a very poor job of raking our leaves. And so leaves got stuck in the gutter and it impeded water. We basically created our own dam. And damn it, see what I did there? It's frustrating. So this previous week, and then I'll get back to the play. I just realized I completely am skipping around and stuff. But this previous week, I had a parent night and at work, which all that really means is it's a very late night. I was pretty stressed. I really wanted, I was not willing to or even home to rake our yard, even though I knew a big snowstorm was coming in. So I feel frustrated at myself because there's a very small timeline between a snowstorm and when leaves start falling off of trees. It feels like it. And I think the snow has caused a lot of our leaves to fall off the tree, but because we're on the shady side of the street and our house is super shady, I feel like it's going to take forever for the snow to melt to be able to rake the leaves. Now, the leaves are on top of the snow, but I don't really want to rake leaves on top of snow. Maybe get some gloves and I can try. They're going to be all gross and wet. But alas, that was slightly frustrating. I was like planning it. I'm like, oh, we're going to rake the leaves. I had the parent night. And then Friday, we went to that play. I liked the play so much that I wanted it to be a date night for Bill and I, my husband. And Bill is a very introverted, nerdy, lovely man. I really love my husband a lot. Sometimes a challenge is going out and doing things because he's such a homebody. I'm just tired from the work week. And yeah, so I convince him to go. And then we find out after the fact, actually Bill knew at the time, that my daughter is sick. And so it's like, oh crap. And I buy the tickets. They're not refundable. Like there's a lot of like, I agree to the terms and conditions, And so, we're planning on going on a Sunday. She was sick all day Saturday. We made the decision, and it's not like the best decision I know, to have a friend watch her because he offered, and he also was getting over a cold and like described the same symptoms. And we hang out with this friend frequently. So I'm like, maybe they have the same thing. But we went to the play again. And I guess Denise was like super sad that we left and cried and just like, mom guilt for sure. But I didn't know she was crying at the time. So I enjoyed myself in the moment. We went back to the play. There's this part of the play. It's slightly interactive. Like it's not like full on interactive, but they pick on basically 2 audience members. And I knew this going into it, and I intentionally picked seats where they had picked on the audience member last, and I put Bill in that seat. And it was perfect because they picked him to be part of the play. And there's a scene where there's like a character who's poisoned by tea, and it's also a comedy. I need to add that. It's like not like a, suspenseful, just like a murder mystery, but a murder mystery comedy with 13 characters and 2 people. And so they use that to their advantage a lot, like the circumstance, and they use a lot of breaking what's it called? Breaking the third wall? I'm sure it's something like that to have funny moments. And so the character's poisoned by tea, and he's like on his deathbed, and he requests, "Will you play some music while I die?" And then the other character starts to go over to the piano, and he's like, "No, don't leave me." He's like, "Well, we can't do both." And so they like both look at the audience, and they pick this old man in front of Bill, and you can tell he's just a crotchety old man. He's not going to do what they asked him to do. And it was hilarious because the characters, or the actors, just rolled with the punches and had some funny jokes about it. And then they picked Bill. And so they tasked Bill with playing a song while the character dies, totally setting him up on purpose. He's like, "I don't know how to play the piano." And so in front of like an audience of like 100 people or more, he's like, "I don't know how to play the piano." And then he's like, "Just try." And he plays the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And then right away, the character gives him like crap about it and says, "Oh, go ahead and just, we just worked for an hour, but it sounds like you can't play the piano, so why don't you just play the dead guy?" And so Bill lays down, and the actor holds him and just makes all these jokes like, "You can stick out your tongue, like be a really good actor about dying." And I don't know. I'm not explaining it terribly well. Oops, I missed a whole row of these. But it was the funniest moment. It was hilarious. So then we got to go eat at one of our favorite restaurants, which is Chili's. Highly recommend Chili's, and getting for an appetizer the skillet queso, because you get salsa and queso and you get tons of chips, and then doing fajitas, because then you can use the queso to put it on the fajitas. So good. It's so good. And then so Bill and I have this setup where he doesn't really like vegetables, and so he gives me all of his fajita veggies, and it's so much food. I can usually make 2 more meals out of it. So highly recommend Chili's fajitas. So we did that. We went back. We learned that Denise was having a bad time. I feel really bad about it, but hey, it was a fun date. And then I'm getting distracted here. We came back. We realized something important about a new car and snow, that a snow scraper is super important to have before it starts snowing, and we learned that the hard way. So we stopped to get a scraper for the new car, and because we couldn't find the one in our old car. So weird. I don't know. And yeah, then I'm here today. So yes, kind of done this WIP and chat out of order, kind of been out all over the place. I do want to give you some updates with my channel. So I am going to be showing more content related to Christmas coming up. I did buy some greeting cards that are Christmas themed, and I might have bought some Christmas ornaments. I'm not sure about that. And I will be getting some new kits because the holidays for me also is like where my birthday lands. So my mom is going to buy me some diamond paintings, which I will absolutely unbox on this channel. I'm going to buy a jellyfish one, I'm pretty sure, that glows in the dark. So I'm planning on adding that to my office at work because I have an under the sea theme going on. I've wanted that kit forever. It's from Crafties, but I just haven't had, I don't know. I always feel like I need to complete a kit before I can buy one, but all bets are off for your birthday, you know? And then, so that's exciting. I have that coming up. I've done a lot of shop with me's. I found more diamond paintings at Walmart that weren't for kids. I was shocked. More greeting cards, I believe. So there's that I will be releasing. That's gonna be a super short video. And yeah, I think the other, not really related to diamond painting, but to crafting is I'm so enjoying knitting right now. And that's why I have not made much progress on my diamond painting. It's not that I like diamond painting less. It's just knitting and having a machine has been very rewarding to me. I really want to, this holiday season, sell some hats and make hats for my loved ones and friends. So it is nice to do something that's a little bit more short term because I can use a knitting machine and I'm putting my own touches on them and I'm really enjoying it. I really think that the hats look relatively good. Some of them not so much, but I'm going to donate those ones. Like, I think for me, they're not bad hats, don't get me wrong. They're just, like, they have one flaw that no one else would notice, but I do. And so I would rather just give that to someone in need because the function of the hat still works just the same. It just has a one drop stitch, So I might be highlighting more of my knitting adventure, I guess you'd say, just because I'm spending a lot of time doing that and I'm really enjoying it. I have a feeling that knitting is going to be taking up more of my time until the holidays are done, and then I will go back to full-blown diamond painting, which I love diamond painting. I miss diamond painting. I just wish I had more time in the day to do all crafts for sure. But I think I'm going to end my WIP and chat there. I almost finished this section. I just have a little bit more to go, but that was kind of all I had to talk about. As always, thank you for supporting my channel. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing. It's super helpful. I'm 25 people away from having 500 subscribers, and that was my goal for 2023. I would really love to hit that goal. That would be amazing to me. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in my next WIP and chat.